This is HeKnowsHisSport bringing you that heat and that fire. We keeping the foot on the what? On the next. We keeping the foot on the what? On the next. Let's talk about it, man. The NBA is tweaking coronavirus protocol so that they can rush their NBA players back. HeKnowsHisSport told you guys this stuff, man. And the prediction king strikes again. And the prediction king strikes again. We told you they didn't care about the populace. They didn't care about the 80% black populace and the 20% all other populace, 100% populace of product NBA basketball players on the basketball court. They just want to rush them back so that they can get the least path of resistance, so that they can turn around and get you a fraudulent, fluky, on-the-spot NBA title. Things that make you say, let me say it again. Things that make you say, HeKnowsHisSport has a big issue with this. Because why are you rushing NBA players back when we know damn well your protocol is shaky? Your protocol is on sandy foundation. It's on a quicksand. You already said players on a 10-day quarantine protocol when the normal protocol is 14 days. You already are rushing them. You already are exponentially accelerating positive tests. And the reason why people are not hoop lying and the reason why people are not uproaring is because there haven't been any positive tests that have manufactured just yet, or positive tests that we don't know. Let me say it again. Positive tests that haven't manufactured yet, or positive tests that we don't know. But that doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Now you're going to rush the product back on the floor. There was a 48-hour, mind you, excuse me for the part of my friend, a 48-hour protocol on players being able to return back on the basketball court for just short-term related issues. Now they're saying 24 hours. So not only have you decreased the quarantine protocol, you've turned around and decreased the turnaround protocol on when a player can come back on the basketball court. This spells doom, y'all. This spells issues. This spells the NBA is eventually going to have things that's going to go against it. You can't keep going against the grain and not thinking there's not going to be some malfunctions associated with that. Let me say it again. You can't keep going against the grain and not thinking that malfunctions are not going to be associated with that. There's always going to be malfunctions to the system because the way the system works, the way the system operates, the way the system functions itself, there has to be a malfunction. And what we see here as we're peeling the layers of this onion is we're seeing that the NBA is basically cheat coding the system. And when you cheat code something and you take shortcuts, malfunctions are bound to happen. Let me say it again. When you cheat code the system and you short code it, malfunctions are bound to happen. And the malfunctions are going to happen off of the strength and off of the back of NBA players. It's sad to say this, but you have to look at recent events. You have to look at current events. See, people don't read. They don't study up. They don't keep themselves informed on everything that's happening. The NBA has this thing right now, right? Just like all other mainstream sports, where the government has basically said, look, we need the top creme de la creme. We need the most in shape. We need the guys that are peaking themselves at the highest levels to be out and about. We need to see where they're at. We need to be there. They need to be our proverbial guinea pigs because we need to determine how they react, how their bodies respond in every situation, every nuances, every circumstances, every dichotomies, every catch-22s, every scenarios, every which way you want to look at it. We got to see how they respond because if they're the creme de la creme, if they're the top, if they're the peak, if they're the highest forms of what we call in shapeness and they don't respond well, then the populace, everyone else, the obesity rate being high, everyone else having underlying issues, they're damn sure not going to be able to handle the repercussions or to handle everything else that's behind what's going on here. So you guys have to look at this stuff, man, and you guys have to start looking at the cold-hearted, unadulterated, and cutthroat true tale fashion. And when you start looking at this stuff, you're not going to be satisfied with the results. Let me say it again. When you start looking at this stuff, you're not going to be satisfied with the results because the results is telling you that the NBA is willing to shortcut. They're willing to cheat code so that malfunctions can eventually take place. And they're letting you know that they're running a plantation here. The plantation are the players. They are the stock. And we gotta keep the brand going. We have to keep business as usual because it's all about the bottom of the line. It's all about the least path of resistance. It's all about the fraudulent, fluky, on the spot NBA championship. We need to recoup investment. We need to justify what's going on here. And we're going to do this off of the strength and off of the back of NBA players. And we don't care how it happens. We don't care how it's manifested. And we don't care ultimately what ends up happening to these guys. This is what the NBA is telling you guys. And see, NBA fans have allowed themselves to get back. HeKnowsHisSport is not watching basketball games like HeKnowsHisSport promised you guys. I'm catching highlights. I'm catching after the factness. And I am having HeKnowsHisSport birdies report to me and tell me what's going on in between games so that I stay abreast on what's going on, because at the end of the day, I'm a content creator. And I cover sports. As a matter of fact, my vernacular is HeKnowsHisSport. So I have to stay up to date on what's going on. I can't be in the dark. But at the same time, I'm still upholding and serving code. Whereas everybody else, they folded. And they decided we're going to start covering basketball games. Because this is what everybody else does. Remember, they're followers. They're not leaders, man. Real leaders tell you what they're going to do and they stick to it. Let me say it again. Real leaders tell you what they're going to do and they stick to it. Followers don't do that. And then covert leaders that are really followers, they damn sure don't do that. They're the worst variation. They're the ones that's telling you, yeah, man, your message is strong, he knows, man. We gonna back it up. And then they go and turn around and do what everybody else does. They're even worse. But HeKnowsHisSport is staying on code here. So I love this game. This is a shout out to you. Because you're like, man, he knows. When you said in the comment section, I thought you said you wouldn't. No, I'm not watching basketball games. I'm staying up code to that. The NBA is not going to get my time. I done told you guys this stuff. Time is the most precious thing that you have on this planet. And what you do with your time, that's totally up to you. Let me say it again. Time is the most precious thing that you have on this planet. And what you do with your time is solely up to you. Do you want to be an abundance mindset thinker or do you want to be a scarcity mindset thinker? That's really up to you. But we have to look at the issue that's at stake here. NBA players' livelihoods, their lifeline, their health and welfare and safety is basically just being said that it's being pushed to the side, all so that business can continue as usual. And all HeKnowsHisSport is left to say, in his infamous terminology, is things that make you say, Things that make you say, Woo! You see, I done told y'all, man, the NBA, they don't care about their product. They don't care about these players, and they just don't care about everything else. All they care about is the bottom line. That's what Adam Silver and his spineless self, his lack of backboneness self cares about. That's what these NBA owners care about. Because there's a difference between being rich and there's a difference between being wealthy. Rich doesn't carry you into the next generation. Wealth does. And they know these players are living paycheck to paycheck. So they're going to do this shit regardless. Let me say it again. Rich doesn't carry you into the next generation. Wealth does. So they know these players are living paycheck to paycheck. So they're going to do regardless because they need the money. Like the Carmelo Anthonys of the world. They need that money. But these NBA owners, yeah, keep the product going. Because we need to get that money off of them. We need to run this plantation. We need to get things going. And we don't care if we short code. We don't care if we cheat code. We don't care if we have malfunctions. And we damn sure don't care if the positive tests rise up or they upsurge. But the bottom line is we need to keep this thing going because we need this stuff to keep going so we can make our money here. And it's sad, but they're doing it off the back of these NBA players. But NBA fans are so brain full of mush and brainwashing their dodo headisms, they can't see this stuff for what it is. So that's why HeKnowsHisSport always has to reveal the cold-hearted, the unadulterated, and the cutthroat truth-teller fashion that's associated behind this stuff. This is HeKnowsHisSport. Checking out.